All right, hello, transition to college math. With our talking about credit cards and APR, annual percentage rate, we're going to learn how to actually, if you charge something, to be able to calculate what you would be paying on that at the end of the month. And I guess the question that most people ask when they're taking a math class is, when am I ever going to use this? When am I ever going to use this? At least with transition to college math, a lot of the math you're doing is going to be things that you're going to be experiencing as an adult. So as you grow up, you're going to have credit cards, you're going to be getting loans, you're going to be having a savings account. Then when you talk about like retirement, you know, getting your own investments going so that when you get older, you have money after you retire, that sort of thing. But you'll experience the loan and credit card before anything else. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to look at a couple of here. It's pretty much straightforward after I do a couple of examples. And then you'll end up finishing off the rest of the sheet after you kind of watch the video or listen to it with me during Zoom. So here we go. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I'm not the best writer with the stylus yet. Marlon charges $100 cell phone bill to his Visa card with the 12% APR. How much will he have to pay at the end of the month? Okay, well, before you can start just throwing numbers in there, you got to get kind of an idea of what the monthly rate is going to be. And the way that you figure that out is you're going to take the 12%, and they call it APR, annual percentage rate. Well, how many months are in a year? So the answer to that is 12. So basically what you figure out is that it's 1% per month. Okay. Now, most of you will understand what I'm saying now, but the number one mistake that a lot of kids make is before you can do any calculations, you have to take the 1% and you got to change it into a decimal. So to change it in a decimal, that means you have to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So you get 0.01. 1% is 0.01. So when we go to calculate how much Marlon is going to owe at the end of the month, we got to take the $100 that he charged times 0.01, and that's going to give us 1 or $1. So to find the total that Marlon's going to pay, we would take the $100 plus 1, and then we would get a total amount of $101. So at the end of the month, Marlon will pay $101. Okay. Words of wisdom: when you start getting into the credit card game, you don't ever want to charge more than what you can pay off at the end of the month, because then that's when they start socking you for extra money. You know, try to always keep it to the level where you're gonna pay it off. Otherwise, you're just giving them money and interest on what you're borrowing. 2, 3, 4, same thing as number 1. But then if I don't say something about number 5, people would, you know, come in and they'll say, well, you didn't say anything about a savings account. It's really no difference. Instead of it costing you money in a savings account, you make money depending on, well, I mean, you're going to make money no matter how much you got in there. But not very much. Banks don't like giving away money. So even if you look at the percent as we go here, Marjorie has put $500 into a savings account that pays her 2%. 2% is not a lot of annual interest. How much will her $500 be worth after 1 month? How much will her $500 be worth after 2, after 3? And then the question goes up to 4 months. Okay, so if you think about it, and I'm going to scroll it up here because there's a lot going on with those answer blanks. We're going to start kind of working for the 1 month answer. Okay, so like in number 1, we have to figure out 2% getting divided by the 12 months. Okay, so if we reduce that, that's 1/6%. Okay, meaning that if we take 1/6 and convert that into a decimal, it's kind of like 1.666 repeating. Okay, we'll probably just kind of cut it off at 0.166. All right, now since that's technically a percent, you still have to change it into a decimal you can work with. So we got to go 2 places to the left. So that 0.166% is the same thing as 0.00166. Okay, so again, I kind of mentioned the number one mistake that I see a lot of kids often do is they forget to take that percent and change it into a decimal. All right, so now we can calculate. So I can take the 500 times 0.00166, okay, and then this would be the time that you have a calculator. So if I literally did 500 times 0.00166, it's going to literally give me 0.83 or 83 cents. So if I want to know at the end of the month how much I would have in that savings account, I would take the 500 plus the 83 cents, and I would get a total of 583 cents. Okay, so I just figured out part of what will be left of this worksheet for you guys as homework. Now, just so that you're clear, okay, when you start going into the second month, okay, we don't have to worry about recalculating what the percent is because we already figured that out. Now what you do have to do is, now this is our new balance for the second month. So now I have $500.83 times 0.00166. And again, if this was the old applied math, right now, believe it or not, you would have to calculate that by hand, but you can use a calculator. So this is roughly going to come out to be 0.8313. Now if I look at the 1, it's still going to keep my answer at 83 cents. So we didn't really get much movement off of the 2% APR, well, not APR, but the annual interest on that, because we don't have that much money in the savings account. So now when I want to figure out what month 2 is for the final total, I have to take the $500.83 that I started off with and add another 83 cents to it, and I'm going to get a grand total of $501.66. So in 2 months, I get $501.66. So think of it this way: you start off with $500, and at 2% annual interest, after 2 months, you make a extra $1.66. And honestly speaking, in reality, that is the way that it works. Like you can put, unless you have massive amounts of money, you don't really make that much money having it in a savings account. All right, so your homework is going to be to finish the problems on this worksheet that I didn't do. So when you go for month 3, start off with your new total, okay, and begin with that number when you start month 3, okay? And then if you got any questions, you can ask me in Zoom or email me. Like I said, as the school year goes on, we'll figure out, how to get past these things through remote learning. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.